Mabuhay! Ako po si Deborah Garcia. Hi, I'm Deborah Garcia, and welcome to another lesson where you will learn practical Filipino language in just a few minutes. This is brought to us by NAC TV, the local TV channel here in Nipua, Manitoba. Today we are going to learn about pronouns. So if you want to grab a pen and paper so you can take down notes, go ahead. Also, we want to hear your thoughts about our video. So please, if you have some comments or suggestions regarding this, put down below, or you can send them directly to nactv@wcgwave.ca. Also, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And without further ado, let's get started. There are different types of pronouns that we need to learn. However, for this lesson, we are just going to focus on the personal pronouns and the possessive pronouns. Maybe in the next lesson, we would be able to discuss some other types of pronouns. So let's start with the first one. Also, before I forget, I would like you to start spelling some Filipino words. Like with these translations here, when I provide you the translations, I would like you to try spelling those words, because in the previous lessons, I taught you how to read. So now it's time for us to spell. So the first one, the personal pronoun I is ako. Ako is always being mentioned in my lessons. Like when I introduce myself, I always say ako. So that's I. How do you spell ako? It's a two-syllable word. A and then ko. Okay? So a and then ko. Ako. Alright? One difference from the English language is that in Filipino, when we say ako, we only capitalize it when it is in the beginning of the sentence. But when ako or I is found in the middle of the sentence, then we don't capitalize it. Okay? Next one. You. You in Filipino is ikaw. How do you spell ikaw? That's a hard vowel sound E, and then the second syllable is kau. It's a diphthong. So how do you spell that? E and then kau. Next one, he. Actually, there's another difference in English pronouns. He or she are different, but in Filipino language, he or she are just the same. We only have one pronoun for them. We don't have male or female pronoun for these ones. So it's just siya. He or she is siya in Filipino. How do you spell siya? Si and then ya. This one. Siya. Okay? Next. It is very easy. In Filipino, the translation of it is ito. You just need one letter there and then you would be able to translate it in Filipino. It is ito in Filipino. I-T-O. Ito. Okay? Next one. We. We is tayo. Tayo. How do you spell tayo? Ta and then yo. Tayo. The last one for the personal pronoun is they. In Filipino, they is sila. If he or she is siya, that's singular. This one is the plural one. Si and then la. Sila. That one. So, I is ako. You is ikaw. He or she is siya. It is ito. We is tayo. And then they is sila. Alright? Let's go to the possessive pronoun. I will become mine. Mine in Filipino is akin. A and then kin. How do you spell that? It's a and then kin. Akin. How about you? It will become yours. So yours in Filipino is iyo. and then yo. Actually, the complete pronoun for that is sa iyo. We put this, what do you call this, preposition sa, so it will become sa iyo, or we cut it short, we say sayo. So you can say iyo, sa iyo, or sayo in Filipino, okay? If he or she here are just the same, sila, siya, then maybe his or hers will just be the same, right? For the possessive pronoun. So it will be kaniya. How do you spell that? 3-syllable word, ka, and then ni, and then ya. Kaniya. Or we usually use the contraction for this one. So if we contract this, it will just become kanya. Kan, and then ya. Kanya. Okay, this is the most commonly used one. The same with this one, sayo or iyo. So we don't really use the long one. We are lazy. Okay, so it's, if ito is if it will become ito, then its will just sound almost the same. It will become nito, ni, and then to, nito. There you go. So we will become ours. Ours in Filipino would be atin. Atin. How do you spell that? A and then tin. Very easy. A, tin. Okay? The last one. Theirs. So they is sila. Theirs would be, it almost sound the same, would become kanila. Ka, ni, la. Kanila. So mine, akin. Yours, iyo or sayo. His and hers is kaniya, or use this one, kanya. Its is nito. Ours is atin. And theirs is kanila. Now let's use each personal pronoun in a sentence. So number 1, ako. So ako is I, right? Ako, I. Filipino. Do you have an idea what is this? Ako is I. And then this is an auxiliary verb. I mentioned this one several times in the previous lessons already. This word I, ay, is, are, or am. It is an auxiliary verb in Filipino. So ako, I am a Filipino. Ako, I, Filipino. Next one, ikaw. So, ikaw is what? You, right? So, you. And then we have matangkad. Here, matangkad means tall. So, it means you are tall. Ikaw ay matangkad. Next one, siya. Siya is he or she, remember? So it doesn't matter if this one is a male or a female, but it says siya ay matalino. Matalino means smart, so or intelligent. So siya ay matalino. He or she is brilliant or smart. Alright, next one. Ang, I already mentioned this one. This is an article, the. Ang ilog. Ilog is river. Ay malinis. Malinis is clean. Now, I wrote this sentence so that I could use the pronoun ito. It means it. In Filipino, we can't just use it directly. We need it to be referenced in the previous, used as a reference for the previous subject. So, in this sentence, ang ilog, our subject is the ilog, the river. It says, ang ilog ay malinis. Malinis is clean. The river is clean. And then in the next sentence, we can use ito so that we would know that ito is still the river that we are talking about. So ito is this, or it, sorry, it has, ay may, has. It has a lot of fishes. So ito ay may maraming isda. Marami means a lot or many. Isda is fishes. So it says, the river is clean, ang ilog ay malinis. It has a lot of fishes. In Filipino, we use this word, ito, when we mean this. So, ito here can be it, or ito can be the demonstrative pronoun this. So that we won't get confused how it is being used here, we need to mention the exact subject first, and then in the following sentence, we are just going to replace the subject with the word ito, which means it, pronoun it. Okay? Is that clear? So, let's go to the next one. Tayo ay magluluto ng kanin. Tayo is we, right? We are. Magluluto is a future tense for the word cook. Will cook. We will cook rice. Kanin is rice. Or actually in Filipino, we don't really say magluluto ng kanin. We don't say we will cook rice, because for cooking rice, we have a specific word for that, which is saing. Saing. So S-A-I-N-G, saing. It's just, this term is just being used when you are cooking rice. You don't do saing with any other food, but only for rice. So tayo ay magluluto ng kanin, or we can say tayo ay magsasaing. It means we will cook rice. Okay? That's tayo. Now sila. Sila ay magtatanim ng gulay. Sila is they. Magtatanim means will be planting. Tanim means plant. Okay, so magtatanim is planting, and then gulay is vegetable. So they are going to plant the vegetables. I haven't mentioned this in my previous lessons, but in the Filipino language, we use the active voice when we are writing our sentences. But when we are speaking, we always use the passive voice. Active voice is when the subject is the focus of the sentence. The passive voice is when the subject is not the focus, but the object. So, in this sentence, ako ay Filipino. The structure is just the same in English. I am Filipino. It's in active voice. Ako is the subject, so it is the focus of the sentence. But when you make this passive, like in Filipino, when we say that I am a Filipino, we don't say I am a Filipino. We say the Filipino is me. So it will become Filipino ako. So Filipino ako. We transpose it. So Filipino here became the focus of the sentence instead of the subject I. So we don't say ako ay Filipino, but we say Filipino ako. Okay? Next one. Ikaw ay matangkad. You are tall. But in Filipino, we don't say ikaw ay matangkad. We say matangkad ka. So matangkad here is the object, right? Or this is the adjective actually, but it will become the focus of the sentence now. So it will become matangkad ka, not ikaw ay matangkad. So matangkad ka. Ka is you. This one, since we transposed it, we put it in the end of the sentence, so it will be conjugated. So ikaw will become ka. But it's the same, it's you, okay? Matangkad ka. Tall is you in English. This one, Siya ay matalino. He or she is smart, but that is in the active voice. When we turn it into a passive voice, we don't say siya ay matalino. We say matalino siya. Matalino siya. Or we can contract this. Instead of saying siya, we say siya. It sounds like siya, but we spell it with siya. S-Y-A, siya. But when you write it, it would always be spelled like this, siya. But when you say it, you can say siya. Okay? Matalino siya. Matalino siya. Next one. Ang ilog ay malinis. The river is clean. But in the passive voice, we say, malinis ang ilog. The clean will become the focus of the sentence. So, you'll say, malinis ang ilog. Alright? Ilog here will not be the focus now. So, the word clean is the focus of the sentence. This is the passive voice. Ito ay may maraming isda. Marami is a lot. Isda means fish. Ito ay may maraming isda will become maraming isda dito. Maraming isda dito. Ito is it, right? It will become dito. It will be conjugated because then it will be changed. Dito means here. It has a lot of fish here. Here is the river, the ilog, the it, right? So, it's a bit complicated, but you will learn how, in each lesson, for example, in the next lesson, if I'll write some sentences, I'll write them in the active voice first, and then we are going to change them into passive voice so that you would know that this is how we write it and this is how we say it. Okay? Okay, this one. Tayo ay magluluto ng kanin. We are going to cook rice. So how do we say it in passive voice? We'd say magluluto. The verb will become the focus now. So magluluto tayo ng kanin. So, magluluto tayo ng kanin. Or, if we are going to use the word saing, then we would say, magsasaing tayo. Then you will erase the word kanin here, rice. So, you will erase this one now. You say, magsasaing tayo. That's the passive voice. The last one. Sila ay magtatanim ng gulay. They are going to plant the vegetables. So, in the passive voice, we are going to focus our sentence into the verb. So, we would say, magtatanim sila ng gulay. Magtatanim sila ng gulay. Okay? It might sound a bit hard because it's just the first attempt that we did this, but in the next lessons, they will be easy for you. Alright? And that's the end of our lesson for today. I hope you learned something. So if you have some comments or suggestions regarding our lessons, please type them below, or you can send them directly to nactv@wcgwave.ca. Also, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And see you again next week. Bye!